But, you know, a few years pass, the Wii U passes away, and we have the Nintendo Switch come out, and what a system. So we get to our second year of Nintendo Switch's life, and we get to the March Direct, and that Direct was already wonderful as it was. You know, I believe this was the Direct where Okami and Undertale were coming to the Switch, and I was just like, what can they do to top this Direct? And then they showed the Inklings in something that was very reminiscent to Splatoon 1's initial trailer, and I'm just like, this is Smash. And, like, when it comes to the Inklings, I didn't really desire them for Smash 4. I played Splatoon and I had fun with it, but, like, in terms of, like, a Smash 4 character, I was just like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling that. But, like, in the next game, yeah, for sure. You know, when that giant reveal happened with the Inkling in the eye, the Smash logo was there, you know, yeah, you had Mario. And then you had Breath of the Wild Link, which I was stoked for, because not only was Breath of the Wild quickly became one of my top 3 Zeldas and one of my favorite games of all time, continuing that trend, but now we have a Link that is representing Breath of the Wild. And this was such a sight for sore eyes, because I was tired of the oversaturation on the Twilight Princess roster. And I was even happier jumping ahead to see the entire Zelda roster represent more of this series, as opposed to sticking with one game and Wind Waker. So yeah, we get to E3, and what a way to kick it off. Well, you know, you get past Daemon X Machina in Fortnite. What a way to kick that game cycle off. That roster debut trailer is one of the best, because, you know, as it progresses, the cues and reveals, they just get stronger, they get more surprising, and they get more emotional. You have, like, the return of the Ice Climbers, you know, you get Mewtwo back, and then you get the entire trio of Pokemon Trainer back, which was, like, my first big surprise, and then you get Snake, which was well-timed, because at this point, I was, like, 18, and I had finished Metal Gear Solid 1 to 4 for the first time. Well, I was 19 at that point, but... And I was just like, holy hell. Like, this is amazing. You know, and then everyone is here floated, and I'm like, so everyone? And then I saw Pichu, and I'm like, so everyone? And then I saw Young Link, and I'm like, okay, they mean everyone. And then Wolf's like, yeah, they meant everyone. Cloud was a big sigh of relief in particular, because I was apprehensive when it came to whether he was going to come back or not, because even though I got who I wanted in the last game, his representation was considered lackluster. A solid stage, a love letter moveset, but, like, you're lacking in trophies and music, which is one of the biggest parts of Final Fantasy VII, the music. It was great to see him, and I'd say my only disappointment with that trailer, I only have one disappointment, it was actually seeing Samus come back with her Other M design. As much as I love Samus and I love the Metroid series, I was just bummed because Other M's not great of a game. And while I think Samus's design in general is good, I think her Other M design in particular is the weakest. I'm not big on how, like, sleek and, like, more futuristic it is. I don't really like the arm cannon either. So I definitely want to see, like, a Super Metroid or Metroid Prime design come back for Samus if there's a new Smash entry one day. Oh, and of course, like, her design in Metroid Dread. That is a given. Though, you know, well, on the topic of Metroid, Ridley got revealed, and I am very happy that happened. Ridley's not one that I was shaking excitedly over, but it was a very fulfilling addition, and definitely a character that I wanted to see. Metroid in general got the treatment it had long deserved in Ultimate specifically. It's kind of crazy how the reps doubled from two Samuses to two Samuses, Metroid Prime technically, and Ridley. Good picks. Now, on the topic of the character selection though, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too enthralled with the lineup up to launch. I thought there were a lot of great options in there, but other options just left me rather indifferent, and then in one case, not too happy, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, let's talk about Simon, Belmont, and Richter, to that extent. I know I glossed over the Echo Fighters a bit, but I really want to more so focus on the newcomers with this retrospective. The Smash effect took a hold of me right away when Simon was revealed. My friend Colin, who I have done a lot of discussions about growing up, we were always talking about who we wanted, and while I wanted Chrom in Smash 4, he wanted Simon Belmont. So when he was revealed for the game, I was very happy for him. When I saw Alucard, I'm like, oh, so that's who he is. I'm gonna go play Symphony of the Night, and wow, what a game. But that's aside the point. Funny how I brought up Chrom, because it just went full circle when Chrom was shown, like, 5 minutes after. That was mind-blowing to me. When it came to Chrom, I screamed like a little girl, straight up. It was a character I was initially rooting for, and he was given his chance. You know, that's the whole thing. That being said, a part of me was a little apprehensive how the community was going to respond to its, technically 7th Fire Emblem character. You're already, pressing past the amount of representation with Zelda on the roster, so to speak. But yeah, Simon and Richter, loved their trailer. I liked the incorporation of Luigi, and that was also our earliest tease of Luigi's Mansion 3, now that I think about it, because his Poltergust was different. That's right. But it was interesting to see, like, the build-up. It's like, yeah, we're getting Castlevania content. And then, you know, it slowly, like, cues you in. It's like, okay, yeah, that's Castlevania. A shame that it leaked early, but I was one who had learned by that point, so I was just like, you know what? I don't want to, like, deal with these leaks. That night when that song selection thing leaked, I just went to bed. I want to look at it. But, yeah, good trailer. And then there was King K. Rool. And like how I was alluding to picks that I wasn't too enthralled about, King K. Rool was definitely a character I didn't really want to see. And it was a very highly requested character among the community. And I wouldn't be surprised if K. Rool was the first place on the Smash ballot. The one with the most votes anyways, or the highest amount of requests. But you know what? This is something I love about Sakurai. He takes something that I don't like, or am not necessarily rooting for, he can turn it into something that I can respect and find an admiration for. That's not just Sakurai. I'm talking about, like, his entire team, too. What I hated about King K. Rool the most was, like, that gross 2006 render of him with its, like, his Mario Strikers render. And it's just, I hated seeing that render everywhere. And then there was Gangplank Galleon, and I gotta be honest, I did not like that remix that we got in Brawl. You know, everyone used that remix, and I didn't think it was all that remarkable. But, first, King K. Rool got a great render, one of the more detailed renders, I should say, and then Ace Plus, the composers of Xenoblade Chronicles, remixed Gangplank Galleon. Okay, yeah, sure. You know what? I'm fine with K. Rool now. You know, it's crazy how stuff works. The anticipation from the presentation into the trailer, I liked how it, like, sort of piggybacked, because you heard K. Rool's steps while Sakurai was wrapping things up, and then it cut, and then you have that, at this point, kind of iconic do with the villains and the TVs. And then, yep, it showed Donkey Kong, and just a small detail, I like the noise that Donkey Kong makes when he yawns, like, when his jaw, like, goes back into place, I mean, because you can hear his dentures. Just a neat sound touch that I've always liked. And, of course, I like DDD screwing around with the appearances and whatnot, and everyone likes thinking about that as, like, a meta-commentary of Sakurai being tongue-in-cheek with the fans. It's really good stuff. Very lighthearted. And, of course, there was the lighthearted pick of Animal Crossing's Isabelle. Yeah, I had a blank stare for that entire reveal, not gonna lie. And I was somebody who is really looking forward to getting back into Animal Crossing after 2 spin-offs back-to-back made me kind of sour, and New Horizons was looking really good. This is gonna sound mean. I would not have entirely minded if she had stayed in Assist Trophy. I just think when it comes to, like, a pseudo-echo, it's something that I wasn't thinking. Conceptualizing, I suppose. But I also didn't mind her as a roster addition, which is the weird part, so it just sort of negated itself, and I was, like, overall just mixed on her. Her trailer was nice. It was adorable. I liked how it played with New Leaf's overviewing camera in the mayor's office. I thought that was a great touch. You have Pelly delivering the letter. A lot of great stuff in there. But, you know, the moment she brought up Smash, I'm just like, oh, this is absolutely Smash. And the question she brought up with the campsite and all that, you have to wonder, how deep does the rabbit hole go when it comes to each character's individual lore, you know? But that's aside the point. The final Smash Direct. Okay, so I'll say this. Ken was very exciting. I thought it was great to see Ken. But the moment I saw those yellow eyes, that grin, just, it evaporated. They were ending on Incineroar, technically. And this is a strange case scenario, because I didn't like Sun and Moon as much as I did Pokemon X and Y, but I chose Incineroar. Well, I chose Litten. Evolved into Incineroar. Incineroar is my favorite fire starter, if I'm honest. Up there with Charizard and Blaziken. So, like, when we were ending on a Pokemon, I was just like, but why? No, I shouldn't say but why. It's more that so many people were shouting Incineroar, 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 Incineroar. I got tired of it. You know, and like, I know there were like rumor mills, technically leaks, and all that, but it's like, I was just tired of hearing Incineroar that I just didn't want to see it in the game. But now that Incineroar is in the game, I'm glad it's there. The character's fun. Now you have 2 of each type, except grass. You know, you got fire and water, and nothing for grass. We'll get back to that. Going forward, that direct in of itself was sort of a massacre for me personally. Not only did Rex from Xenoblade 2 get the Mii costume treatment, which was nice, and I like that Xenoblade 2 content is in there. Oh my god, Shadow. Oh, way to play with my heart. You know, every time Sonic used to be revealed, he was always revealed with Shadow as his assist trophy. Alright, so like when Smash 4 was out, hey, here's Shadow. So when Ultimate came out, Sonic was shown with Knuckles. And everyone was like, with the introduction of Echo Fighters, does this mean Shadow no, just no. Yeah, that was one that really stung. And I'm gonna be honest, it still kinda does. But things brighten up with a question mark when Sakurai said a piranha plant, a potted piranha plant, is joining the fight. That's what we're really ending on. But you're gonna have to wait a few more months. It's not quite ready. It broke me after like that wave of like personal disappointments for me, I guess. I went from silence to nervous laughter to like a crazed kind of laughter. But you know what? I was for it. I know it's not a rule, but it's like the idea Pokemon has more characters than Mario. It just doesn't sound right to me. And I know Pokemon's like the biggest mass media franchise in the world. You know, Mario's like the face of Nintendo, and Nintendo's like the face of the game. I don't know. You ended with World of Lights. Beautiful massacre, as you will, where everybody just got obliterated. And you have that wonderful vocal piece of the main theme. And then the game was coming out. And this is where we jump into our DLC discussion. After all this time, yeah. So, fun story, I was on my way to GameStop. It was John and I watching the Game Awards, and we're like, this is boring. Just regular banter. I was waiting out of the line with Emmanuel, and Emmanuel suddenly looked shocked at his phone. So, when I looked at my phone, I dropped everything, and I experienced hype that I had not experienced, frankly, since Cloud. Joker from Persona 5 was going to be the first DLC character. And what was crazy about this shocking, surprising reveal at the Game Awards was the fact that my first playthrough of Persona 5 was the Black Friday prior to Ultimate's launch. I had been playing Persona 5 up until that point, and it was a nice, slow burn. I took my time with that game, and it was such a joy. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this character. And the character came to Smash. And then I beat Persona 5 that New Year's. Oh, God. Such a good game. Play Persona 5, but also play Persona 4. Really good games. So then, you know, the hype just, like, carried over into, like, his actual reveal trailer, and it was as flashy as his game. He was right there with some of the all-stars of gaming, the music stuff, all wonderful. By the way, his reveal, outside of my GameStop mall, I got so excited to the point I had to lay down on the ground. That's how big it was for me personally. But we're gonna get to something a little small. It's Hero from Dragon Quest. It was a character that I was both anticipating but also dreading. The reason of the dread is more so because I desired Kingdom Hearts content in Smash. And you know, it's like Walt Disney owns the rights to Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is also synonymous with Square Enix, who develops the games. So, you know, it's just sort of like that rights situation, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. So everybody's just like, Erdrick, and it's just like, I like Dragon Ball Z a lot, but I don't know if I want Dragon Quest necessarily. And it's like, even though I was going to try 11, I was just like, eh. But then I perked up when I saw that the hero representing the face was the Luminary from 11, and I'm just like, oh wow, I'm for this. And then the Overture kicked in for his trailer, and here's the thing about the Dragon Quest Overture. They blast that in every single piece of marketing that they can. So, Dragon Quest 7, Dragon Quest 8 on the 3DS, Dragon Quest Builders. I was sick of that song. But then I played Dragon Quest 11 a few months later, I'm like, this song's kinda clean. Sugiyama sucks, but this song is clean. I was impressed, even though I was apprehensive about Dragon Quest and Smash. A good pick. But, Banjo-Kazooie... what a fun and satisfying reveal. I like how it harkened back to the K. Rool trailer because, you know, Banjo fits under that umbrella of Rare developed games on the N64. And who else was there? The stars of Donkey Kong Country. You know, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, K. Rool. Like, it was great to see them all there. And God, I'm just thinking back to that reveal, and it's just like, it's crazy to me that it happened. Just the fact that it happened. And it's funny, I have a note written down and it says, I thought it was a matter of time and was surprised that everybody was happy as they were, because I'm just like, I mean, Phil Spencer, like, literally tweeted a few years back, I'm okay with making a deal about this, you know? Like, if Nintendo, like, wants to approach me about this, I'm all ears. I'll let him in. I can't forget Kazooie. You know, that trailer was just pure bliss, seeing Spiral Mountain again. Grant Kirkhope really captured the feeling of a homecoming for Banjo. And I just want to see Banjo-Kazooie appear on more Nintendo consoles. We got it with Minecraft, Cuphead, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, so it's possible, kind of? I don't know. It's not something I have my hopes up for. And something I admittedly didn't have my hopes up for was Terry Bogard. So, admittedly, I was deflated and somewhat angry when that trademark leaked, because I was remembering that overbearing promotion of SNK Heroines, which, if you recall, was a tag team frenzy of fan service. I thought that game looked very shallow, and it left my first impression of Terry Bogard a negative one. You know, you had the gender-swapped, very fan servicey look, and I was not big when it came to that. But then I took a chance to simmer down, and I thought to myself, wait a sec. King of Fighters and Fatal Fury was an important set of games when it came to Sakurai and the conception of Smash. Once I remembered that, I remembered his Famitsu column and how he talked about King of Fighters, I calmed down, and then I ended the presentation with an open mind, following his reveal on the Direct, and I ended up enjoying and respecting his presence. This goes back to what I was talking about with K. Rool, you know, like, Sakurai and his team are able to take something that I might not initially be for, and turn it into something that I really like. So, well done. But at this point, I was getting really fatigued of third-party characters, and something that was not necessarily to my liking is you would hear, like, the same 8 picks of third-party characters, and there wasn't, like, any real build-up for first-party characters, so I was just tired. I was tired of seeing all these shine-in-the-pan picks, if I'm frank. I just need a first-party refresher. So, Byleth was both a blessing and a curse in that regard. On one hand, I was very happy that we were getting first-party content since launch, with Piranha Plant, I guess. And this also goes into the fact that I adored Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I thought it should be in Smash in some regard. You know, I was expecting a spirit board, hoping for a DLC stage maybe, but to see, like, the main avatar be the character, that made me happy. Because, for one, I didn't want Edelgard. I'm gonna be frank, I don't like Edelgard. Fear the deer. But I was like, you know, if someone has to represent three houses, I think it should be Byleth. They can use the Sword of the Creator. My mindset was like, maybe they can have the house leaders, like, be a part of their specials in a regard. Dimitri with a side special, Claude with a standard special, Edelgard with a down special. I was close, just a little off though. Turned out Byleth was going to be using the relics that they use. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense too. I was very thrilled with what was going on, but wow, Twitter was horrible that day. We got Cuphead, we got Sans as a Mii costume, which I forgot to bring up. We got that Mii costume, but like, at what cost? People were furious that the joke that had been spoken too many times ended up becoming the reality. And I will say this, I love Awakening and I love Three Houses. I don't like Fates. I may have brought that up earlier. I just want to clarify, I don't like Fates. But, you know, everything calmed down because we did have another wave of DLC. And we got that mini update and we got that reveal that Arms is gonna be the first fighter in the next pass. And I was very happy about that. Not only are we getting another rejuvenation of first-party content, we're getting Arms, which I consider a highly underrated game. A success, but underrated nonetheless. And it was getting a spot in the roster I feel it should have gotten. So, I remember that when it came down to it, it was between this, all these characters, and I'm just like, it's gonna be Min Min. Like, guys, come on, it's gonna be Min Min. I absolutely knew it was gonna be the character on account of Kosuke Ibuki's love for the character. Ninjar was my pick next to Min Min, who I'd later be surprised second fiddle to Min Min during development. That really wowed me. I was like, wow, I really almost got my Arms main in Smash. That's funny. I love the trailer, you know, the Arms theme, superb as ever, and I'm glad that Arms is in the game in some form. So we fast forward a few months later, and I get a character that I didn't know I wanted until it was conceptualized, and that was Steve from Minecraft. When someone threw at Steve, I was like, are they serious? You know, because I wasn't sure how to, like, really look at Steve. He's a viable option, but do people really want him genuinely, or do people want him because he's a joke, you know? And there was like that whole thing, you know, Steve versus Banjo and whatnot for that slot. But then, you know, I remember that morning, I was like waking up from my college dorm and I was like, man, do people really want Steve or not? Like I asked people and like I remember they're like, oh yeah, of course we want him. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So then the trailer plays and then I hear the bats, I hear the skeleton clangs, and then I hear the spiders and zombies and I'm like, oh my god, they're putting Minecraft in this game! I thought that was really exciting. And, you know, I was doubting the legitimacy of Steve's spot, but the truth was, I absolutely love Minecraft. It's a game I have fond memories of since its release, and it is a game that I can bond over my brother with, who's not necessarily into video games that much. So, when I saw Minecraft revealed, I had to tell him, like, straight up. And we bond over Smash 2 with our friends, so it's funny how things work out like that. When I saw his moveset, I was just floored how much detail was in that moveset. In my opinion, I think Steve is one of the best character ideas for their moveset in Smash. I genuinely feel that of all the characters in this game, I think Steve has, like, the best idea of a character, like, the best conception, I should say. So I was like, wow. Where do they go from here? Well, let me tell you, the Game Awards, we have a character for you. Come watch us. So I did, you know, and I was wondering, okay, what are they gonna show? So, I consider this trailer of this fighter to be the best orchestrated trailer in terms of, like, its cinematography, in terms of its build-up, its tension. Everything was 10 out of 10. When Galeem was sliced in half, my heart was, like, beating as fast as it had been in, like, years, I guess. Because I didn't know who it was going to be. I don't think we had gotten, like, an original culmination trailer, like, you know, since World of Light. So, Sephiroth was the fighter I didn't know I wanted next to Steve. Steve was the fighter I didn't know I wanted until I saw it. Sephiroth was the fighter I didn't know I wanted until I realized it was possible. I think his reveal is undoubtedly the best in Smash history. You know, you have the build-up intention up to the reveal, and I think it was perfectly encapsulated compared to one like Simon or K-Rool. It's like, ooh, who's it gonna be? I wonder, you know? It's like, even though those trailers are good, they're not Sephiroth's trailer, I'm sorry. He's definitely my favorite character in this pass, like, undoubtedly. And I think we don't get Kingdom Hearts content. He is absolutely the best alternative, the best substitute, hands down. And Final Fantasy, or, you know, Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was getting its overdue treatment that it sorta needed since 2015. Alright, next up we have Pyra and Mythra, and their addition left me completely satisfied in terms of first-party representation in the game. I alluded to this earlier, I heavily desired either Rex or the Aegis on the roster, and while I didn't quite get the tag team of both of them, I'm glad that I just got the Aegis and the way Pyra and Mythra switch alternatively to one another. I think they're very fun, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. I'm glad that Xenoblade 2 content in general turned out the way it did. I love the fact that the stage is Azurta, the dragon, and I love the music remixes. Oh my god. Listen to Tiger Tiger. That slaps really good. The moment that trailer opened up with the clouds and it panned into Argentum, I was like, oh my god, it's finally happening. I wasn't concerned whether Rex was going to be the fighter or not, even though, like, you listen to my trailer and it's like, I'm clearly rooting for Rex there, but, you know, it's whatever. I was just ready to embrace more Xenoblade and Smash. As Xenoblade as a series grows, I'm glad that it's being nurtured properly. And that brings us back to the whole beginning of this, with Kazuya Mishima being the most recent character. When Nintendo Z3 kicked off with that, I instantly recognized that it was Tekken once I saw Ganon right above the volcano. Like, before he was going to be thrown into it, I mean. I recognized Kazuya as Heihachi's son because I remembered his ending FMV. He just looks into a camera and gives that dumb smirk. God. You see, I'm not even into Tekken, but I think that smirk is hilarious. But yeah, even if I wasn't necessarily over the moon for Kazuya compared to others, I think at that point, though, Fighter Pass 2 had easily surpassed Fighter Pass 1 for me. And that Fighter's Pass had Joker and Banjo-Kazooie, alright? Like, that was a good poll of characters. Fighter's Pass 2 outdid that. But yeah, that's everything. When it comes to the future, I'm not sure what's going to hold, but I think whatever happens, delight or disappointment, I will always treasure my memories with this crazy hype cycle. And I don't know where Sakurai's gonna go after Smash. I feel like this might be his last game, honestly, but I'm not sure if he'll want to do another one of these in like the next 8 to 10 years and just like completely rejuvenate, revitalize everyone's moveset. Whatever he decides to do, I'll be there. You know, when it comes to the fighters that are being heavily speculated over, you know, the pool gets narrower and narrower with each massacre, as I like to call it. Me costume massacre, if I will. The fact that they murdered both Dante and Shantae, like, wow, that was brutal. So, who do I think's next? Well, we might get that Pokemon. You know, I said earlier, there might be a water type, grass type, fire type. Please don't be Cinderace. I'm begging you, please don't be Cinderace. I really hope it isn't Cinderace. Inteleon's neat, but, like, I don't need a third water starter either. And Rillaboom's... You know, it sucks because I think Rillaboom as a concept is cool, but it's just, like, it's not the strongest grass starter. So, if push comes to shove, I'd hope it's somebody like... Appleton. I want Appleton, alright? People are going on about Toxtricity. I want Appleton, alright? Appleton's a good Pokemon. I'm not sure who they could add in terms of first party at this point. They could always do an assist trophy upgrade. I don't think that's unlikely, and I also think it would be a somewhat sour note to end on if it was Waluigi. And I'm someone who likes Waluigi personally. I know people detest Waluigi, but I've never minded him. It's just the people who speculate him, I think, take it too far sometimes. But, you know, I've alluded to myself being a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and and I would love to see Sora. I would desperately love to see Sora, and I do believe that there's precedent for it. Just the thought of Kingdom Hearts being in Smash. I mentioned, like, a little earlier, I can't remember if Cloud made me shed a tear or not. I think Sora's reveal might make me bawl if he got in. I guess it's because Kingdom Hearts, I was introduced to Kingdom Hearts before Final Fantasy. Well, Kingdom Hearts got me into Final Fantasy. So if we get Sora, that's it full circle. Next up, I still really want to see Dr. Eggman. I'm fine with Sonic's content as it is in Smash. I know people are like, well, Sonic clearly has the worst representation, and it's just like, I don't know. He's got 2 stages, 2 assist trophies, a good amount of spirits and Mii costumes. His only sticking points that I can think about for others is, like, the music. And Sonic music is great. It's fantastic. More so that there's a lack of remixes, but, you know, like, Dragon Quest doesn't really have any remixes either, so not every third party gets that slice of the pie. And then, of course, there's Sonic's moveset, which is ball. Ball, ball, ball. And, you know, to be fair, there's Sonic the Fighter stuff in there. I like the small little references that they squeezed in there for Sonic. He takes damage when he's in water, because Sonic hates water. He can't swim. And then, you know, you got the homing attack reticle. They nailed a lot of aspects about Sonic. But, you know, greed is a sin for a reason. I would love to see Eggman. He's a villain that I think is right there next to Bowser and Sephiroth. Ganondorf, you know, I think that he is right up there with all of them. I don't think they're going to particularly end on a Sonic character, but I would be over the moon for that. Then there's a Capcom character. Of all the characters that I would be happy to see, it would be Okami. Okami Amaterasu, to be specific. That White Wolf is actually one of my favorite characters in gaming. I love that dog's design, the moveset. I love Okami's art style and music. That game is beautiful. And, like, it might have gameplay issues, but it is still a wonderful game, all things considered. And Okami in Smash is just something like, I wouldn't even mind if there was, like, a spirit or an assist trophy of Ami. But, like, to have Ami be playable would be crazy. But I digress. I can't really think about anyone else right now, I'm sorry. I've been kind of going on about this in chunks on and off, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's as I said, delight or disappointment, I will treasure my memories of the Smash hype cycle, and I want to thank Sakurai for these past near 10 years now. I will always treasure these 8 years spent when it comes to the speculation and excitement. So yeah, that's gonna be it. What do you lot think? Tell me down below. I'm a little bit out of it right now. I've been going on for quite a while, but thanks for tuning in. I'm the Squire, and be kind to one another. See you, everyone.